out there, my name is Kate and welcome back to my channel. Today I have an anxiety video for people who do not experience anxiety or panic attacks. So if you have a friend or a family member or a colleague or anyone in your life that experiences anxiety or panic attacks, then this video is for you. Here are some tips that will help you help them. The first point I want to make is probably the most important that people don't understand, and it's that anxiety or any mental illness is not just like a cold or the flu where it's here for a week and then gone for a couple of months and might come back later. It is a constant process of ups and downs. Someone could be feeling fine and then a few seconds later they could be having a panic attack. Because panic attacks and anxiety, they can happen at any moment for no reason at all. I've had the first two or three panic attacks I had when I was first diagnosed with anxiety and I wasn't sure what was going on. They were for no reason at all. They just kind of happened. Like, I know I was feeling anxious before I had them, and then all of a sudden everything just like broke down. And possibly there are things that people have anxiety with, but they don't know why they're having anxiety in that situation. Like, they haven't broken down what really makes them anxious, makes them nervous. So they just think this certain event makes them anxious, when really it's something like underlying there. But they haven't figured that out yet, so don't pressure them into figuring it out. I work with a therapist and we have broken things down so much into like the little details. Also, if you're a teacher or a professor and a certain student who has anxiety or mental illness, you know, if someone in your class gets panic attacks, like I said before, I always tell my teachers like the first day of class, or I'll email them before, like, hey, I have a medical thing and I have anxiety, so if I need to leave the class, it's not because I don't want to learn and it's not because I'm being disrespectful, it's because I need to take time to just get away for a second and breathe, and then I promise I will be back in class. So if you have a student that does tell you that, and if you have anxiety, please tell your teachers that you have it, that you could have a panic attack, you might have to leave the room, you're not just doing it to get out of class and wander the halls, you're doing it because you genuinely need to take care of yourself. I have told teachers that if I cannot fully do a project, or if I can't fully do something that is required in the class, I'm willing to do double that work if I can get an alternative option. I forgot to say this while I was filming, but anxiety is not a choice, so if someone starts to have a panic attack and it's at a really inconvenient moment, they didn't choose to have a panic attack at that moment. They might not even know what caused it. And also, if you are a teacher, they're not choosing an alternative option just to get an easy way out. They're choosing an alternative option because they know it'll help them. And self-care is so important. So if they know what they can do to take care of themselves, then I'd say let them do that. Even if it's just walking out of the room for a few minutes, that's fine. They can get the notes from someone else if they miss something. Just because if someone is having anxiety in a classroom, they will only be able to focus on their anxiety. They will not be able to focus on the lesson. So letting them walk out and clear their head will make them come back into the room even more focused. If you have anxiety, I've repeated this so many times, tell people what they can do to help you and kind of educate them. But in turn, if you have a friend that has anxiety and you don't experience it yourself, kind of educate yourself. There are a bunch of like YouTube videos, or I was gonna say WikiHow. If you type in anxiety into Google, you will probably get a few pages, and the articles aren't that long, so it doesn't take a lot of time to educate yourself just on like basic anxiety things, because as I said, anxiety is different for everybody. So ask your friend or your family member what you can do to help them. Because even though you don't know what it feels like, you know that you have things that other people don't really understand either, but you would just want people to understand what you need and be patient with you. Also, one more thing, I got a comment on my anxiety kit video from someone named Abigail, and she mentioned that Trident gum, which is the peppermint gum that I carry in my anxiety kits and I use to, help my anxiety, she mentioned that it's a sugar-free gum. So it contains an ingredient called aspartame. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right, aspartame. And it's like a sweetener. Yes? Yeah, it's a sweetener that is supposed to replace sugar. So if you can, buy gum that isn't sugar-free, or look at the ingredients to make sure that aspartame is not one of the ingredients, because it can cause anxiety. I'm not sure if I said that when I first started that sentence, but aspartame can cause anxiety, so I just learned this. Thank you so much, Abigail, for telling me, and I will definitely be looking for gum without that ingredient. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this helps people with anxiety, and mostly I hope it helps people who don't experience anxiety and they realize what they can do to help other people. Remember to like and subscribe to be notified whenever I upload. Check out my Society 6 store. It is linked down below, and I will see you next week. Bye!